Says that I'm talking to you more.
What do you?
Your dad's rolling up. You know what I mean? Like I said it for you. Instead of saying dad's rolling up, you know what I mean? Your dad.
Bro, like I'd be sitting in that game chat with Tucker and you, bro, and Tyler would be sitting there calling you dad. I'd just be like, bro, if you don't shut the fuck up, bro. If you don't shut the hell up. It's like no one's really said this for years, and no one's ever said that. And now you're encouraging this behavior right now. Moving forward, you're just not confirming what Noah has this head over top of you and us in this group play Warzone. Just shut up. It's also the way he says it, bro. It's like a fucking fucking cuck out here, bro. Just like, god damn. It's like he's the type of dude who's talking. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home and see my wife's boyfriend. It's just,
Hey, Rhett.
you know, it's like I gotta go ask my wife's boyfriend's permission. Like
you got some good examples of that. I'm liking your examples.
Bro, it's just, oh man, I geek about it, bro, man. Especially the word cuck. That's just a fucking. Yeah. That's a hell of a fucking word, man. This is what it fucking means. Like,
he was the first person to ever fire that back at me for sure. Where you're just like,
okay, maybe once, but then like
you're surprised at first, you know?
Yeah.
You're just like,
when you're playing 3 hours of Warzone and you're doing it, just like, man, at this point, you are like you're just like I don't know. Maybe you're trying to take power away from him by
firing it back.
Yeah, I don't know, but now you're just saying it in a way that like you're also like
you said it one too many times.
No. The way he said it as well, which is like, yo, daddy, is just like, bro, this is getting weird now. It's getting weird now.
Yeah, you definitely don't know how to take it when you're not expecting that. You're not expecting somebody to fire that back at you there. It's like, oh yeah, your daddy is coming.
So yeah, it's like it doesn't
never actually worked before.
And it doesn't take any power from you.
No.
Just try and neutralize it, just like just Eminem yourself real quick, just try and neutralize it, dead it, making fun of yourself and just dead it.
For me, it's not like I don't even go to its pros, you know. I don't then respond like, okay, yeah, daddy is coming. You know, I always just move on to the next joke. I think that's how you gotta be. You gotta move on. You gotta find something funnier. Don't keep doing your same routine, kid. Your shit'll get old up here on this stage.
See, I geek a lot now because like now we see our governor like more than ever. I just geek. I just call him Hoagie all the time. I just love it. Oh, yeah. Love calling him Hoagie, bro. Boy Hoagie, bro.
Find out for long, bro.
It's Hulkamania, bro. You got Hogamania going on right now, man. You do fucking shit.
I was just geeking when I was talking to you.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, this place ain't closing unless Governor Hogan calls it by name.
Yeah.
That's the only way this shit shut
down. I mean, same thing over here, bro. Just like just we're on the boat where we're all just kind of taking off from our jobs or taking leaves from our jobs and trying to self-preserve and maintain our health and not try and catch this shit and spread it. I don't fucking know, man. People could I mean you were talking about earlier how some people were like making fun of you, cracking the jokes and saying this or that. And I mean, like, people want to keep fucking joking, man. You could have joked on Monday, but now a week later, I think it's a little time to be like, I don't know where these fucking jokes are coming from, guy.
What sucks though is whether you take it as a joke or not, it's still floating through the air,
Yeah,
man. Choosing who's the jokesters.
Hey, exactly, bro. I mean, like, this is some fucking, I don't know, it's just some out of the movie type shit, man. Like, it's just so funny. Like, I actually want to go back in about a week or two and watch the one we did when we first talked about it. And we were just like, we don't think it's all this or that, or it's whatever, I want to go back and watch that one because I want to see some of the shit,
I kind of remember it, and it's like the way we were talking, yeah, we did say that, but we were mainly talking about the symptoms, the symptoms themselves. We were saying like, no, the symptoms technically aren't that bad. It's a flu symptom, which sucks,
Yeah.
Like we didn't understand how infectious it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like, it's particular, attack on the lungs, which is also kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's like, whereas flu, I mean, it's just like you're generally just feel sick. You know, just like there's no one particular thing.
This is true.
But like this thing's like it's. I mean, like it's attacking your lungs. I mean, the
That's
shortness of
a
breath, the
vital organ.
cough. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, like,
People say they're breathing in and they don't feel like they're.
bro, I
getting air.
saw they did a 3D rendering of the damage in this guy's lungs after coronavirus. His only underlying health condition was high blood pressure, regardless of where that is on your scale.
Permanent damage?
Well, he died, and the damage on his lungs that they were showing was just insane, man. I mean, they particularly said that his case, he wouldn't have recovered from the lung damage done to that. But the damage that they were showing, he wasn't a smoker. You know what I'm saying? He was 50, but he was healthy other than his high blood pressure. That's the only condition he had underlying. So
That's scary, bro.
yeah, you know, I mean, like
Being a smoker doesn't help.
yeah, being a smoker, you know, I mean, they put out the warning too, the vapors, smokers, and marijuana smokers, whatever the case may be. You're smoking something, your lungs are affected, you know.
But you can't put people inside. Not expect them to want to smoke a little weed, man. I mean, give us a break.
Well, that was the one thing I thought was funny. It was like, I watched a video of how Norway's handling it, and they did close essential businesses, and at one point those included coffee, marijuana shops, but they reopened those, and they haven't taken like an extreme degree of lockdown, because what they're hoping, they're trying to combat the virus with herd immunity, or like if enough people contract the disease and live by it and live past it, then the virus we won't have nowhere else to spread and will eventually die off without being able to find a new host.
So you're saying that they want to get everyone together?
No.
And get the virus?
They've taken measures to slow the spread, but not extreme ones like most people have, as far as like the social distancing thing, and they closed
to live amongst the disease, because the theory is, or the science is, that's what I'm
so herd immunity is a proven thing. If enough people survive this disease, your body builds up immunity to it, and the disease, although it can contract from other places and you can have spur ups, won't be as contagious like this one is, because of our pre-exposure to it, our built-up immunity to it. And once you get that high enough, the virus won't have no one else to infect, and it will die off in that area.
Because I was wondering, that was a question I had of like, what if you get the virus, you heal from it, can you get it again?
So the only thing I've heard so far on that was up. Oh. Yeah. The only thing I've heard about that so far is that it appears that way, but they don't have enough information. It's not conclusive for them to be like, oh yeah, there's some immunity towards it. What they're saying that they're seeing, from what I heard this morning, was that if someone does seem to get by it and then they then take a sharp turn and become more ill, it's because they never truly got over the virus. They just made progress in recovery, but then took a bad turn and the disease got worse. So, but it seems like people are immune once they had the disease.
There's also some info going around that people that are around it more are actually getting it in a worse case, basically. If you just come in contact with it, I guess you could get a smaller form of it. The theory is, I don't think that's been proven. But if you're basically a doctor and you get it, you're gonna get a bad case of it.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I don't think when people make the jokes and downplay is that we haven't been exposed to this bug yet. This type of infection, this type of disease. We haven't had it in a human yet.
Right.
This is the first time it's been in humans. So I mean, that's the other thing where people are worried.
Two things I think about that is one being the fact of like
how blessed we are, number one, to have this technology, right? Because if this technology wasn't here, this thing would just be going everywhere and nobody
Yeah,
would know.
yeah.
You know, to be able to have the ability to say, hey, everybody should stay inside, you know, to give extra precautions,
Yeah.
to show the numbers of the cases, you know, that is all the first time we've ever been able to do that with a flu like that, you know, just giving, or whatever, a pandemic like that, where we're literally
Yeah.
giving you the numbers. I guess you could say of this case, because I guess you could say like swine flu and stuff like that, but you've never really seen it how like every day you're watching it
Right,
increase,
right. Yeah.
I've never done that before.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the first time ever. And then like number two being like when they follow the numbers, like if you're going off of the infection itself and by the numbers that it's doing now,
Yeah.
it would be X amount of people basically, but with a point well, I mean, it was 3% mortality rate on that. Like they were saying, if 3 million people could get it, you know, then you're talking about what 300,000 right there, right?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I believe 300,000 or 30,000. You know, but so then you're saying, okay, well, if we then get 30 million people who get it, well, you're talking about maybe you could lose you could get into like almost a million people here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're getting up there basically, and people
Yeah.
that are going to die from something.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the other thing is that, like, if there was this thing going around and they weren't doing anything about it, it'd be like, why the fuck are you just letting this new disease spread like crazy? Like, you know, it's just like, you know, just like, it's one of those instances where like people just won't be fucking happy. They're gonna kind of bitch either way. It's like if they left this disease unchecked, we'd be crying right now. But Italy, 700 people are dying a day in Italy. What are we doing? Like,
Insane.
you
I'll tell
know?
you something that was said that really brought some thought to my head was really podcast with Duncan Trussell. That guy, he's a smart dude.
Oh,
like,
Duncan?
I like a lot of things he
Yeah,
says.
yeah.
But there was one thing where he was bringing up. He was like, "Why, you know, this is like I forget how you put it, you know, basically, but this is like a big bang for a bacteria, you know, or a virus itself. Like it had been that virus was working X amount of years in these animals to try and be able to mutate to get to people, you know, and it finally did it. Like how much of achievement that must be for an organism solely based on spreading like that. You
Yeah.
know, like that is just, and I was like, man, I never thought about it like that. But like that is fucking wild. Of like that's a whole different structure of yourself that you're creating to be able to go from animal to human, and then you have to restructure stuff again to go human to human.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy that thing's just adapting like that.
Yeah, I mean, just from the point of jump. I mean, you go back to, you know, when we got the first reports in December to now. I mean, like, I think so. We reside in Maryland. I think one of the craziest things that happened. I mean, last Monday, I think it was announced that like 30 cases were here. You know, and the next, you know, there's 120. And then next, from there, there's 300. Then there's 7. And now we're up to fucking like 1,200.
14.
Yeah. I mean, he said it was like, it's like a fucking 400% increase in fucking. I mean, that goes with more testing.
In a week.
But I mean, like within a week's time, the amount of confirmed cases have
I don't know,
skyrocketed.
people keep saying that though. Like, yeah, you're right with the amount of testing. What the fuck does that matter? It was still there. The disease was there. We just tested.
Well, when people say that, they're just like, well, duh, the numbers are going to go up because of the more testing we're doing. People don't see that as the virus exponentially jumping in that manner. Just our tests are jumping in that manner because we're testing. So people are trying to downplay the amount of spread we're doing.
Hosts, though.
Yeah, but they're trying to downplay the spread and how infectious it is. You know what I'm saying? By saying that. When you say something like that, you're just saying it like, no, the reason the numbers are jumping like that is because we just started testing. Of course, we'll go from 30 to 1,200 because now we're testing for it. But in that same way, like you're pretty much trying to say that like this disease doesn't spread and exponentially grow day by day the longer it exists amongst us and it is in our state. I mean, the amount of people. I mean, like tomorrow we'll probably be up around 2,000 or some crazy fucking shit. You know, it's just gonna snowball from
How
here.
are you gonna stop an air pathogen in a city?
Bro, until you go full lockdown and then you get those fucking desanitizing vehicles that they had going around China and shit, bro. I was the type of shit,
China did?
bro.
Everybody knows what China did,
bro. Like they had a couple of videos come out. I mean, like they're literally walking the streets and just spraying disinfectant. There's literally a car that's driving down the sidewalk and just spraying disinfectant like fucking down the fucking street.
Yeah.
I mean, in South Korea, you had the same thing where they're literally going head to toe on this public transit with fucking disinfectant, just going all over the fucking place, just spraying
Oh
shit
my
everywhere,
God,
bro.
What is that gonna do? What are the
I don't know, man.
ramifications of that?
I don't know, man. But again, one thing that like people have continuously found and have seen is, I mean, the slowdown, the ecological benefits that people have seen, as far as like, I mean, you go into some towns in China, you have like wildlife that's just like encroaching on the streets and shit. I mean, China, I think they had like 60% reduction in their CO2 emissions during the course of the virus, and now they're picking it back up. I mean, just in the course of that day, I mean, like you had like literally like just thousands of metric tons of CO2 just not going to atmosphere. I mean, just like the jump that, because it wasn't like a gradual slow over a couple of years. We went down to this amount. We did it in a couple of days and just cut it out immediately. And I mean, just the benefits that we've seen just from the small slowdown. Just is just like it should be a wake up call once we come out of this shit. It really should be. Just what we can do. What we can get fucking done.
When we come out of this shit, we're finna make up for all that CO2.
Yeah.
We're finna really party.
Yeah.
This place is going to party, bro.
And that's the funny thing is like that's the one thing like that they're saying at work is like, look, yeah, we're slow now, but once this all goes over, like we gotta be ready because we're gonna be fucking busy. I mean, it's just gonna be everywhere, man. They're gonna be trying to make up for lost time. Everyone is, man. Everyone's gonna be trying to make up for
at first
losses.
There is a point, right, where you're like, okay, maybe for a month, where people are like, man, this kind of does get you settled down. Like, remember that like family time's important, and like, self-isolation ain't such a bad thing, basically, And then a month goes by, 2 months go by, and you're just like, maybe partying ain't such a bad thing. It's like, fuck, bro.
Turnup's gonna be real after this, man.
That one status. It was just like, they got to carry me out the club after this
motherfucker. Yeah. I was thinking about
that. I felt that.
I'm thinking like people are gonna have like the first day shit goes back to like, like no restrictions. Like everyone's gonna celebrate, bro. There's gonna be a huge celebration for it, man. It's gonna be fucking ridiculous. And that's the thing, like people are gonna be making up for losses, lost time.
Oh, it's gonna
everything, bro. Oh yeah.
It'll mean forever.
Oh man, it's be funny once we're a year down the road. It's like no one's even doing coronavirus memes anymore. Just like it's like the whole Epstein.
During your memories.
It's like the whole Epstein didn't kill himself thing. It just like kind of blew over, and that's no longer a meme. It gets tossed in every once in a while, but now like most people view it as cringy and unfunny.
It's sad. I hope it never dies. It's sad.
I hope it doesn't either, man. But it has.
That's what I seen. That was like one of the first things I seen after like the corona numbers started going crazy. Somebody posted and there was just like this Epstein cover up has really got out of hand. It was just like,
So that's something funny. That's something I want to bring up to you. There was a conspiracy recently circulating underneath the whole coronavirus thing that has nothing to do with the coronavirus thing. And it does stem back to the Epstein and Harvey Weinstein type, deal with all the, sexual dealings underground and whatnot. So let me familiarize you. Get you familiar with the story. So the one thing this person I saw shared, someone wrote. So in January, I think December and January, there was a record number of CEOs who stepped down. I think it was something along the lines of like 26. All of them being at the companies, at the head of the companies for 5 years or more. I mean, everyone saw Bill Gates step down from the board at Microsoft. We saw the CEO of Disney step down, and a couple others. I mean, I can't name off the top of my head right now. The one thing that she was perpetuating, what she was trying to put forth, was that the cover, like the whole thing, went deeper, and now all these CEOs are stepping out because they're actually like a part of like what happened there, and like they're actually getting close to like trying to like bring it down or some shit, which is why everyone's stepping down and kind of going away into hiding. And it's all being done during the coronavirus pandemic. So pretty much that's all the news you get. That's all people are worried about and whatnot. I was calling bullshit on her, they actually looked into it. I mean, like, I won't give her anything as far as like, who's been caught, what type of operation they're involved in. But it is strange because I mean, it was like 28 some CEOs who stepped down over the course of 2 months, more than any other year, even.
My sister sent me this.
You saw, yeah, something similar.
She sent me the picture of all the people that had stepped down.
Mhm.
There was a lot of fucking people, so it was a lot of fucking people on there.
Mhm.
So I don't know about everybody individually if they stepped down, if it was true or not. At first I'm kind of at that point now where I just assume it's a conspiracy off the jump until it later, you get more and more facts about it. You know, just like with Epstein, you just kind of consume it into you assume it until you consume it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, and I was doing the same thing now. As far as Microsoft goes, well, that was a big thing that, like, I believe Bill Gates was planning for a long time. That's why he was shifting his money to his foundation, because he's supposed to be giving away most of his money with his children throughout his foundation. So he no longer wants to run that. He now is, he actually was one of the people that was, he funds like an organization. The Bill Gates Foundation is mainly for eradicating future pandemics. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was already a planned thing, I believe. But either way could have been news, right? And then with Disney, I believe that was from the lawsuit they had, right? Or like, remember, like the real Walt Disney's like granddaughter or something kept coming at the CEO saying he wasn't paying livable wages to the Disney workers and shit like that.
Yeah.
While he was getting, like, I told you about this, where he was getting like bonuses of, like, because Disney stocks was as high as ever been, but she brought all that on him, so I believe that's why he stepped down.
Yeah.
Now that's just 2 cases that I know of. There was a lot of other ones that I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, take away that, you start at 25.
Right?
Exactly, of course.
Unless you know that everyone stepped down.
Of course.
Then you're
but even just not even to go as far as like what happened and why that happened. I mean, it is incredibly strange that you had this amount of people step down. And like I said, all of them over 5 years of service. Some upwards of 8 or 9, 10 years. As CEO of a company and whatnot. Some and others, I know there was a couple of them that came as a shock. They kind of came out of nowhere, not planned or anything. It is funny though. It is fishy. I just like to speculate what it could be.
Let's do both, right?
They all knew the coronavirus was coming. They were just like,
real quick, we can clear up. Let's say it's not true. Well, there's not much to talk about there.
Yeah, exactly. It's done. They just all coincidentally stepped down in this time frame.
God.
Okay.
Let's say it's not true. It's just false, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it's true.
Shorter conversation.
God.
Longer conversation.
Let's say it's true. Let's say it's true. I'm gonna say number one, kind of sloppy of you guys, right? Can we clean that up a little bit? Couldn't we have done something?
Unless it's urgent, super urgent. Has to be done in a quick time frame.
That's true. Look, okay.
All as the pandemic begins, it's just a little. You played your cards a little quick. It came a little easier to read there, but still,
senators sold stock, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I wouldn't put it past anyone, right? Let's go on a percentage thing here, right? I want you to give me the percent you think is true, right?
Okay. All right.
And I'm gonna name all the conspiracies around Corona.
I'll try and be quick.
So let's say, what do you think about the story that it comes from wet markets?
I'm gonna give that one. I'm not gonna say 100% because I'll give that one. I'll give that one my most at 85%.
So that's what you believe.
That's what I generally believe.
You believe right now it comes from wet markets.
Yeah.
Okay.
The jump from bats to pangolin to human.
Okay, so what about the belief that it could have came from the biohazard factory that was only stationed there?
I'll give that one. 70%.
Okay, so you give that a chance too.
Yeah, give that a chance.
So you're there with that. Yeah. Well, that's kind of close.
But I generally believe.
But you lean towards.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You also believe that.
Yeah.
Okay, then what percent do you give that the Chinese created it for the Hong Kong protesters?
I give that one about 30. It's a little. Yeah, of course, possible, bro. at the peak of the protests.
They have shut it down.
They shut it down. Is it dead? Who knows? It would have been coming up on a year of protests.
Do you think when this comes back, when everything's good, they go back out there?
Yeah.
But then you gave China, months to prepare.
You did. And to take hold in Hong Kong, to take a stronghold in Hong Kong, to really reinforce their influence already there.
Shit.
Bro, I'm just saying, man. Like you make everyone stay inside for a period of time. Perfect time for me to mobilize and really come back with a strong opposition against your opposition.
So you think once this starts back up, China just
they'll be in a strongest position that they've ever been in. Because now the momentum is in your favor because it didn't snowball into you when you got all fucked up.
Or at least it's 50-50.
Or at least it's 50-50. You have a little more of a,
you also don't
calmed everything down.
You also don't got people saying that Hong Kong protesters have been protesting for X amount of days in a row.
People haven't shared news in a long time about it, bro.
Exactly.
The whole idea around the world globally has been silenced and
I bet all the protesters believe
and muted.
it was created for them.
Probably, bro. I mean, there's a heart before we let's not get too deep into it because I want to keep going on with conspiracy theories. There's a heartbreaking video, bro. They're literally escorting these people through the town in Hong Kong, whether it be for screenings. I'm not sure where they were going, but this lady had to pass this police checkpoint. She was literally terrified. I mean, like literally PTSD, like riddled, just like with the fucking cops. Whether I'm not sure why. But I mean, like literally just fucking terrified of listening to these guys, man. The Hong Kong police force, terrified. Heartbreaking video to watch. Yeah, they were in Hong Kong. So it was an older woman, and they're walking. It's a huge crowd. I mean, they're walking in some direction. The police are kind of like directing them this way. They're kind of how they stand side by side and whatnot. She just won't walk past these guys, man. It was just like I said, man.
What do you think this is here? You think they don't trust their police force?
Not at all. Not at all. Pretty much, man. I mean, so the things that they've done has gone deep, bro.
Is that what it's about? I thought it was about them taking back rights.
So what sparked off this next movement was the extradition deal with Hong Kong, China. Hong Kong felt like the Chinese could then use that to extradite protesters and whatnot to the mainland into China, because that's what happened. Because technically Hong Kong's still a sovereign nation right now, but it's also a part of China. Everything's separate in Hong Kong, laws and everything. But the deal with the British was that Hong Kong would be fully absorbed into China in 45 years, I believe it is now. But until then, they're supposed to be run separately until that day comes. And that's the one thing, like they've had protests here before over the past decade. Each time they felt like the Chinese government has encroached more and more onto their sovereign rights as far as like democracy, freedom of the press, and speech go. Because at one point Hong Kong was under the rule of the British, and they had all that. That's why Hong Kong has thrived the way it has, because it was a capitalist country pretty much its entire existence right outside of China. And they just feel like China keeps encroaching more and more onto their sovereignty way before the date's actually supposed to go up. And everything was supposed to remain intact as far as like their rights and whatnot, and they feel like that's being taken away.
So how come Hong Kong citizens aren't the police?
So I believe that's what has happened over the past couple of years. As as this bill was signed, I believe it was just in the 90s that they made this deal, that they've slowly integrated their own people into the workforce, and more people have migrated to Hong Kong from mainland China, and have just and either that or they have their own police force that they've then sent over from mainland China. So it's like their own people are over there, and now the Chinese government has control over the Hong Kong police force, and it runs deep as far as like how the government's run. In the government, there's also a certain amount of Hong Kong's top business executives who are also a part of the parliament and kind of like have a say on how things go in the government. It's like a separate section of it, but they also get votes on like stuff, and they're typically pro-Chinese because I mean, you want good relations so your businesses can operate in China and Hong Kong, and it just goes deep to where like they believe the government structure like Carrie is it Carrie Lam? I believe it is Carrie Lam, the foreign minister, pretty much the president of Hong Kong. I mean, they believe that she's pretty much just a puppet for the Chinese government, just kind of like propped up, and just kind of like doing whatever China wants. And that's just what the people just aren't fucking down with it, man. And I mean, we've had instances. I mean, like there's the Epoch Times, and they're a newspaper in Hong Kong that's pretty much been really critical of Chinese. There's a video, bro, just dudes running in, just fucking spray lighter fluid everywhere, and just fucking set ablaze to the printing press that they got going on there, man. Just some crazy shit. It's gone levels deep, bro. I mean, like there was at one point pretty much just people they thought they were just pretty much gang members. Just a group of people came on, just beat hella people on the train, man. Just beating up pretty much all the protesters that were on the train and shit, just beating everybody, And it was like I think they had like 100 people injured because of that. That's widely believed to be China backed. The police brutality that's taking place. I mean, people have got. There's a lady who she had like her eye blown out by like a rubber bullet. Yeah, shit's gone crazy over there, bro. And that's why they're out there, man. The millions. I mean, you're talking like I think they had a third of their country population protest downtown.
So you're in Hong Kong signing this?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to sign an agreement 45 years?
Yeah,
and you're just like, to you, when you're writing that, you're dead when that's done.
Yeah,
what I mean? You don't even care. And then next thing you know, 45 years time, it's just like, remember what you said?
But a big part of the deal was, that what their rights are, pretty much stay intact. We'll be your part of your, country or whatever, but what we have here already is staying. That's not good to be done with.
That's not how things work, though. You know that.
100%. 100%. But that's why they're protesting, man.
The agreement? Is that
why they're protesting, man?
Does it say that they would get to also abide by their own laws? Does it say that? Because if not, then if you're absorbed into a country, it seems you have to take at least the federal law. I mean, the state law. Damn something.
Yeah, but I mean, like as like the variance. Like I mean, like in China, you don't have I don't think you have the right to protest. It's not like a constitutional thing. It is in Hong Kong. It's supposed to stay. That's not supposed to go anywhere. We can protest.
Is that supposed to stay, or is that what Hong Kong wants?
That's what's supposed to stay. They're like I said, what they have now. Everything is supposed to be intact. What I'm saying, but they're supposed to govern themselves. I'm saying that this whole period up until that agreement.
How many people do you think live there?
I think it's upward of like 30, 40, maybe 50 million people in Hong Kong.
It's not that
something
big,
like that,
right?
It's very small. Very small. It's very,
right?
it's a very small area.
So there's really people are packed. It's packed there.
Yeah, like the price of living is like ridiculous. That's where you see like a lot of those. That's where you see a lot of those closet, rooms and shit. Yeah.
Where's Singapore?
That is, I believe that's closer towards like Indonesia and stuff. I believe it's like an island.
They always talk about that spot costing a lot too, though, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's like one of the like up and coming richest countries in the world, with like that's like a ridiculous pretty much like United Arab Emirates like type money coming up, where they're just banking, bro. I could also tell you why they're banking, bro, if you want. I know a lot about Asian countries apparently.
You think they're just making agreements with the Muslims and shit?
No, they're situated. I think they're farthest out from the mainland, so they're a huge like pretty much shipping and port country. Pretty much every world shipping lane that goes like to China pretty much passes right by them.
So they try to tax?
Pretty much, yeah. The people port there and they just make money off of that,
Iran style.
Yeah. They're situated in a good location for all this to happen, so they're just making money.
There's smog there too.
I think Singapore is relatively clean. Because they're also, they're a lot smaller,
It was a huge city. I can't remember if it was Hong Kong or Singapore, but there's videos of where it's like. I'm pretty sure
that might be in like Shanghai and Beijing in China.
I'm pretty sure it's in Singapore because I could have swore there's like a structure there, a building they have where there's a circle inside the building.
That might be Hong Kong then. I don't know.
It might be Hong Kong. I'm not sure.
Because all of them, bro.
They do that to help with
the feng shui, bro.
Crazy?
Nah.
No, bro. They said this one I'm talking about.
That one maybe,
You're talking about the designs that they do.
The
I know what you're talking
shit
about, right?
Yeah.
What I'm talking about, they put a hole in the middle of a building. It's not for no feng shui, right? It's not to look like nothing else. It's in a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's going to generate the smog through there instead of like that holding in, I guess.
There's another thing. I mean, like on coastal cities, like with the especially like when it's like facing towards the sun, a lot of times they'll have openings so good energy flows through the city. They're not these big buildings aren't
That's
just
awesome.
blocking, you know,
Yeah.
like
It
if
makes
it's facing the
sense. I
ocean,
like
like
it.
they have openings so that the good energy can flow through the city and spread out and not be blocked out from like coming in type of
I
deal.
love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Like if you look up there's a video you can watch on YouTube. It's pretty much in general, Asians' obsession with feng shui and how things are laid out for a purpose plays a part in their architecture and how they design their cities and whatnot. It's all of them have feng shui and good energy flow in mind. All of them, bro. Yeah, real shit. Yeah,
That's cool.
it's also why a lot of places like Hong Kong are very expensive to live because it doesn't necessarily use the
All the
land
space,
good. Yep.
huh?
Yeah, it's just a very terrible, design layout for living with millions of fucking people in a small area.
Is there anywhere like so? Do all of those spots have a child policy?
I think China was the only one to have a one-child policy, but they also got rid of that.
Yeah,
Did it-
they recently
yeah,
have once
Yeah,
declined,
it was just
right?
recent.
But,
Yeah,
like, does Hong Kong have that? No,
I don't
right?
believe so. No, I think China was the only one to have like something like that.
Right.
Maybe India at one point, but I also don't know. I
It
don't
seems like
know.
Hong Kong could use it though, right?
I mean, it seems.
Or do they just want troops?
Well, I mean, it apparently didn't work that well, which is why they stopped it. Which is why they have such a huge gap with like old people and young people. It's just like it spurred everything.
What's the secret? You think allow one more, two? You think two's good?
I think people. I think. I don't know, man.
Well, bro, I read about that when
Yeah.
that was still legal. I remember I got to the bottom of that one day. I believe at my sister's house. We were saying like you could have one, but you can also apply to have more children, right? You
Yeah.
could get denied, but you were entitled to have an extra child.
Okay.
If you were the last of your bloodline, you could
Ah,
have an extra
gotcha,
child.
yeah.
If your wife and you didn't have anyone else, you were allowed to have 3 children. Like
I think-
there
I think-
was ways they tried.
Yeah, I
to add
think
more.
like especially like if you only had like girls or something, you would need a boy to continue your lineage.
Exactly. So there was things like that, but at the same time, a lot of people probably just have one kid because they could. But in certain spots, it seems like it's kind of needed.
Yeah,
Why is that crazy? Why is that so crazy to limit someone's kids? Like to say, hey, one.
That's another thing I kind of like want to like explain to people. I got down to the reason why there's all these crazy animals and why Chinese people eat crazy shit. Yeah, so I mean, like I was thinking about it one day, like when people just kept making these jokes, like why'd that motherfucker eat a bat? Like why are they doing this crazy shit? Why are they always eating weird shit? Why do they eat cats? Why do they eat dogs? So I think it was early back in the 60s and 70s in China. Just right before they reformed their government, they were pretty much in a nationwide famine because they were not able to grow food. They weren't able to supply the fucking people with enough food. Exactly. I think it had good land. It had more to do with like the government's ridiculous like communist beliefs about the state controlling the land, and then none of the people owning it, and then people starving and continuing to try and work, and then just get more and more diseased and just a failed communist system. Just ridiculous shit. So when this famine, like pretty much the way that they got through this famine, they started giving power back to the people as far as like creating your own business and creating your own like farms and shit where like you can raise like cattle and stuff, and like the state won't own it, it's yours type of deal. And with that, they came up with a thing for to allow people to trade like this wildlife and shit for food. So you could sell tigers and shit. You could sell all that comes under the same wildlife stuff that cows do at that time. So people were just trading what the fuck ever. It was just like that's how the famine got solved. You ate what you could.
Right.
It's like because you were allowed to then go.
Whatever.
You were then allowed to go and farm. Have a dog farm or something. You were then allowed to go and raise any type of meat that you had available to feed people. That's how they got out of that slump. And there was a point where they eventually redacted that and cut it off. But over the years, they've like after SARS and her MERS thing broke out, swine flu.
Mhm.
Every time this happens, they kind of cut it off again, but they always let a little more and more and go over time goes until like it's pretty much back to the way it normally was. Which is why you have bats in this market, right? It's why you have pangolin in this market because people eat what the fuck they can. It's just like people just eat whatever they
And
can
it's
get
just
their
still
hands
at
on.
that point where people need to eat.
Yeah, because I mean, like
But why
a
is
lot
it a
of,
wet market? Like, why is it sold like that?
I
Why
mean,
can't
because
these things be slaughterhouse style?
I mean, I think I think it comes
ain't much
from.
better, but
I think it just comes from it's mainly because like most of these parts in China, like China's still considered a third world country. Like they don't have a lot of land developed, which is why they're trying to rapidly expand everything. They, there's still areas where like it's extremely rural and poor, and you go to this market where you can find whatever meat you can, and that's just
Yeah.
what it is. Because you see that market, that was not a
Right.
nice market. That wasn't a nice looking market.
But
you know.
listen, I'll eat a lot of things, bro, before I eat bat, yo. Bat, bro, that looks like one of the worst things I would want to eat. Like,
Oh
I would
hell
eat
yeah.
A lot of things,
Yeah,
bro, before
yeah.
I eat a bat. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, really, I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of something worse.
Yeah, I mean, I
That's tough, bro.
just I probably wouldn't eat any of that. Just
I
like
don't have half the problem with a squirrel.
but
Something about a bat. It's just like, it just looks like it's got a disease for me.
yeah. There's a lot of things you eat before you get to the point of bat.
Like, you look
But-
at a beaver, you're like, I guess I could see someone killing that and eating that, right?
But I look at a raccoon and I'm like,
You probably don't want to eat that.
you know, right? Or skunk. Like, you're not going to eat a skunk, right?
No.
There's just something to it.
No,
Like,
yeah.
if it does that, it's got to be bad for me, you know?
Exactly, man.
I like the picture of the village, long time ago, where it's just like that one guy has that job. He's just like the village taste tester. It's like, yo, today we're trying that.
Let's see what it does to you, man.
Like,
He's eating just like
going back to what you were saying about like, well, if they had like, why would anybody want to create something if the government owned it? Why would I breed cattle if you're saying you own it?
exactly.
I'm not gonna breed no cattle.
Yeah.
Let's go live up like I am now.
Yeah,
Can't
Yeah.
keep my own cattle.
That's the thing, it was just pretty much just like state-owned workforce. They own everything. So it was like everyone was starving, and they were just like, "Look, do whatever you can to feed yourself, pick yourself up," and then they would turn it around
I
because
mean,
of that.
that has to be why rice is such a big thing, right? Because you can it's cheap. You can eat the fuck out of it, you can
Yeah,
cook it
and
in
especially
farm.
nowadays, you don't even have to grow it yourself. You can just import it. You just import it like crazy. So
Isn't they import their rice?
I
No,
think
they
a lot of it's imported. I don't think
I
all
thought
of
they
it's
were
made
the
there.
people we got it from.
No, I'm pretty sure
You
it
know,
all
I
comes
thought
from
they
like.
weren't doing the importing.
I'm pretty sure it mainly comes from like Vietnam and shit. Pretty sure. I don't know. India, also. I don't think China has like.
Philippines.
I think China has like good like rice like fields. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they have good like geography for that shit. But I don't know.
It's oil or something.
Huh?
How their oil looks.
You said what?
Now I'm just wondering about all their weaknesses and their strengths. Because I'm thinking like, man, it'd be probably a good time to hit China. With something.
Well, that's
You
the
know,
one
they got
thing.
a pandemic. They're overspreading.
Look,
then they get hit with a pandemic.
That's the one thing I'll give China is that like it seems like they address their weak spots and kind of just try and like reinforce it as long as they're not given rights. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only part where in my mind like they're kind of like failing. It's like there's not letting go of any rights, but like whatever like it seems like their weaknesses are, it seems like they're trying to combat those. Infrastructure, we'll build 30-mile bridges through the ocean and we'll connect it. Like shit like that. Oh, but it's like
Besides getting more liberal or something like that.
that's the only thing that they won't do is like like it seems like they're, to me at least, it seems like they're like kind of like losing control of their people.
But like,
right?
Here's the weird thing. This hit me right. It's so funny. I mean, we've done this a lot, but like the age of like we as America trade with countries that don't allow women to drive. One thing with Saudi, just started allowing them to drive and shit, right? But if there was a country that said we don't allow men to drive, that would be unheard of, right? Like everybody would be like, "What?" You know what I mean? We gotta free these slaves, but like, because it's women. Everybody's just like, they're figuring it out in time. They're figuring
disrespecting
it out.
their culture.
What's the percentage of men to women in the world? I mean, I thought it was 50-50, or it's got to be around there.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Why would there be more men? Why? I've never heard of anything that would lead towards more men. I've never heard that.
I don't think that. I think. Well, I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean,
If anything, it's what, a 500 million margin or something, which is small in the grand scheme.
I mean, like culturally, the only thing I can think of is that like, you know, men were always held more high in the family hierarchy because that was usually who was gonna take over the family bloodline or some shit. You know, so I mean, like, men were always taken better care of in families and shit, and then like for that reason, they always looked out for more and more survived. And I don't know.
But that's over
I don't
100
fucking
years
know.
ago.
I don't fucking know,
You know
man.
what I mean?
It's still like that. You know? It's still like that.
It's like that still.
I mean, you know, I think
Back then, I'm kind of feeling the other way. I mean, I get what you're saying about the men thing, like especially the firstborn and shit.
yeah.
But like, I'm thinking of like, oh man, I bet they like their fucking kids too. I bet they like having daughters, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
buddy.
but I'm thinking,
That's
like,
what I'm thinking.
yeah, but like,
okay?
I'm also thinking,
It's
like, there were,
oh, daughter, yes.
well, yeah, I mean, I just think back more where it's like, all right, look, I'm gonna marry you off. Like, that was like what that's like. That stuff doesn't just go away; it persists up until this point where it's like, you're just gonna get married off to someone rich. You know, I mean, that still persists in Asian countries all over the world,
I was
in
listening to
India
a
and shit. You know,
the other day, where the guy was like, my parents were.
come
in
on,
they were in an arranged
Mary
marriage.
Henry,
Bro.
Mary Henry, exactly.
How crazy
He's a
is that?
doctor.
Dude, and,
you
and
know?
the thing is, like, they had him, and he said his parents were in love, you know, and they loved each other, you know, and he had a great childhood, great life.
When you believe in the culture, man, you know, just like I guess anything works when something's binding you other than what you and you wanting to be there. When something you believe is higher up at B working to keep you together, I guess that's stronger than you actually like thinking for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I also
Like,
kind of feel like, is it that woman thing that I was telling you about before, you know, where it's like, if you do arrange a marriage, well, the man then rapes the woman if she doesn't want to have sex, which he would be legally allowed to do, right?
yeah.
And then I'm wondering if there's ever that kind of victim thing I was telling you about, where like these people, they might then say,
Oh, I do
"This
love
is
them.
what I want," you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But secretly,
Yeah.
she don't want it.
Well, yeah. I mean, like,
And she's miserable.
I mean,
25
like
years later.
it's the cliche in a lot of
just got her
shows where
pregnant.
like it's a cliche in a lot of shows where it's be like, oh, the boy, oh, you're gonna marry a beautiful wife and you'll be a doctor or a neuroscientist or whatever the case may be. And if you're a woman, you're gonna be pretty a virgin and marry a doctor or a neuroscientist. Like, it's just, like that's, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely get
That-
it. I definitely get it. I was just sitting here thinking about, like, man, when women let guys raw dog, you know, it's like the power is all there to change your life. It's, you know, it's now up to me if I want to change your life.
to
or not,
me,
this
they're
girl,
like,
right? But then as a guy, because as a guy, you can imagine a guy's just like, you're gonna be a great single mom.
yeah, bro.
You're just like, why did I do this? You know, I hope that there's some way that I can properly and not sound weird to my daughter and teach her.
Yeah.
And like, if you're gonna have sex, please use a condom.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, like being younger, just being like, oh, like, you know, being so confused when they would be like, oh, you want to have sex? I want to have sex too, but wait, you're too nervous. You don't want to have sex because you're too nervous. That seems weird to me. You know, it's abstract. But like, well, as I got older, I was just like, it's way more invasive for someone to enter you than you entering someone else.
this
You
is
know,
very
you know what
true.
I'm saying? Like,
This is very true.
another person's going inside you. Like, I'm like, oh, I can see why I could be nervous about that. And as I got older, it's like, oh, I can see how I could be nervous about someone going inside you that you don't want
I'm not
inside
nervous
you.
at all about going in you.
You know? Exactly. I'm not nervous. I'm ready to go. Like, I decided yesterday I was going to enter
I
you.
didn't decide. I decided yesterday. It did not care what it was fitting to get itself into. We're going in here.
We're going inside.
Yeah. You know, and you're just like, I definitely get what you're saying. I never thought about that. But yeah, as a woman, you're just like, I don't even know where your dick been, dude.
You want to enter me, man? Like, I'm going to go inside me.
It's so weird to say.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I've only ever gone inside people. You know? It's like, it doesn't seem crazy to be like, oh, I'm just, you know, okay, cool. But you're choosing to allow me to enter you. I was like, wow, that's a very beautiful amount of trust, isn't it? It's just oh, it's it just kind of just blew your mind.
It's like,
It's like,
I let you crack. You cracked.
You blew my back out, okay? Because I let you blow my back out.
Yeah. So is there a point that women to where like say if
No.
can a woman's
No.
30, right? What number could she tell you, right? Where you're honestly just like slut. Be honest.
Wait,
Be honest.
say that again?
Where you're just like slut. You
Well,
know?
like
That-
everything.
the girl-
Everything.
the whole way from the beginning. Say a woman's 30. Right?
Okay.
What amount of bodies could she say where you're just like, that is a slut? I don't care. I'm all for open sex, right? We both agree that we're for open sex. You shouldn't judge a woman by like, oh, are you a virgin? But like, at what point where you're just like, what's going on here?
I mean, like, for me, I think I'm just like, can you get to 100? Let's say you're 30. Can you get to 100? To me, it says you gotta put extra work in to get 100. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear you.
You gotta have some.
Yeah, you were like purposely.
You set time aside to get 100 bodies.
Yeah, because I'm like thinking
And now
about
I'm just
half
like,
of that, Steve.
That's what I'm
say you're
saying,
30
man.
and
Like
you say, I
100
got
seems
50
crazy.
bodies. I'm just like, not once did you stay with anyone? Did you ever hit anyone twice? What the hell?
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, I don't even want to get.
But it's like the way she says it. She's proud of it. She's like, I smashed 50 guys.
I fucked 50 dudes.
51 night stands. Didn't even catch feelings. Left her ass.
It's like
right in their pockets.
I think.
I mean, like, damn, that's kind of player now. You're not a slut.
I mean, personally, I've always felt the same way about like dudes where it's like you had wait, you had 50, you're 30, it's just like what are you doing though? I've always felt the same way, kind of like inversely, where it's like
but
like,
I get it if it's 50 is like at 30, you're like, I guess I can see 50 at 30, bro.
And I guess it's like
that's not that much if you think about it, Steve. If you started having sex at like 14, if you just have 2 a year, it's like you're flirting with 30,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because there is some people like
true.
We've talked about before, like we've never been that person to chase it that far, but we all know that guy who literally you're just like, you're gonna have to walk to Armstead. You know what I mean? It's like something along the line. We've all done some shit, right?
I mean,
but some guys, right, who would always do it, right? They're stay up as late as they got to. They're going dead.
Oh, bro,
you know what I
walk
mean?
so
their
far.
Walk that's what I said about Armstead. They're like their walk so far.
I've seen farther walks.
Dude, they're bi bitches shit. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways people will do it, but you've seen people who are just way more thirsty than you've ever been.
I know someone that's walked to Sparrows Point.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
from this area here. From this area over here.
I don't even know what amount of walk that would be. I mean, I'm thinking like an hour and 20 minutes.
Then you're going all the way down North Point.
Bro, like
you're going all the way down North Point. Bro, that's even longer than that. Bro.
With these bops?
That's easy, like 2 hour, 2.5 hour bop, man. Yeah, you're just playing an extra advance. This is before Uber.
They got $5 you Uber like 10, like 15 feet, and then you walk from there. $5.
You just
I should have got drinks.
Just overdraft them, on the Uber ride. And hope it goes. Hope it all works out
later.
Smashing is what it is.
What's the farthest you ever bopped?
I've ever bopped. I mean, I've never bopped too far.
Yeah, you're not gonna bop that.
I've never bopped too far.
You're waiting.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's always been at my house. So, just like I usually bring people my way. They usually bop for me. They bop for this day.
So your father's bop was probably Eastwood.
Oh, my father's bop. I thought bop for sex. I thought it was what you were saying. A sex walk. That's what you were saying. I was like, what's the farthest you walked for some pussy? I'm just like, No.
The
farthest I walked, period.
Yeah, farthest you walked.
Farthest I walked, period, was probably. I'm trying to think. I mean, like one was like the legit like Nelly flag bop, where like we fucking walked past Merritt Boulevard, probably like a couple blocks back. I don't know, like ABC Streets territory. Walk from there.
Rogers.
Yeah. I mean, even far. Yeah, that's pretty far.
It's like up there.
That's pretty far, Bob. Yeah, I mean,
I remember Jeff walked her home one time.
That's probably the far. I walked with him before.
You walked her all the way home?
Yeah. There was one time it was me, Nebby, Tyler, Jeff, And I remember we were at Steve Rogers, and they were like, Jeff was like, "Hey, you guys want to walk with me?"
It ain't that far from there, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But then once we walked home, it took us like 3 hours to walk home because we were drunk, and
right.
it was like 5 in the morning. We're sloppy as fuck, bro. We're just still drunk. We're just like, ugh. It was like we're walking into the sunset, man. It was like a 3-hour walk easily. It was like just ridiculous. I mean, that's only like 7 miles. That's not too far.
It's funny when we've had times. I remember times with you where it's like you're walking far and everybody just shuts down for a second. You might start back up, but like there's a second where you just shut down. I remember like 2 for us by instance, right? I can remember the one when Tyler was just super furred. Like the only reason we were on that bench is because we were just gassed from walking.
Yeah,
we were walking all the way from like I didn't fucking know, bro.
That was Armstead we walked from.
Yeah, we walked from Armstead all the way to like your crib, basically, like Eastern Avenue, somewhere right there. I remember the only reason we got on that bench right there when that cop pulled up was because we were just gassed from walking, bro.
Yeah.
We had no more energy carrying Tyler and shit.
See, I remember there was one time like I at one point I used to get grass out of Armstead. You know, I remember there was the first time I linked up with my friend Miguel. He started going to our school and shit. And we walked to his house in Armstead one time. It was fucking terrible from my house. Because it's right there. It's pretty close. But there's no direct way to Armstead, like from this area. You gotta walk up and get this way and go walk that way. After that, I remember we're on the way home and we're just looking, we're like, yeah, we're finna walk 895. Like that's right there. And we did that ever since. I probably did that about like walk 30 times because it was only 15 minutes on 8095 both ways.
Just at your shoulder.
Instead of like an hour going all the way around. Right. You know, it's just like hey.
I remember we had another time I was gonna say it was when we took those e-pills and went to the pool hall. And we were walking there, remember? And we just stopped on that corner. We weren't supposed to stop on that corner.
Yeah.
We just did. I remember I was sitting there. I'm just like, there's no moisture in the air.
Yeah, we also decided to roll up too.
Yeah, we were trying to.
Yeah, you're just like, there's no moisture.
Yeah, it's like, there's no moisture.
Bro,
we were just dead there, bro.
And I mean, that was like probably the one of the like the maybe not the highest times I've been, but just on that corner, just like. Bro, I felt like death at that moment on that corner, bro.
That night was definitely one of the hardest geeks.
I'm glad we laid in that field for a little bit, bro, because like it was tough.
Yeah, but like that night, might have been the night I geeked the most in my life, bro. Like we just were geeking, bro. Even when we got back to my crib, even when we got back to the crib, like we just kept looking at each other and geeking, just blowing it down, bro.
One of my highlights for that particular trip, you and Nebby were wrecking at the pool, right?
And
you were just like. You put your head down on the table and you were like, yo, this is crazy looking at it from the ball's point of view, man. I remember Nebby was just like, dog, you're fucking crazy. What are you talking about? And then Nebby just does it. And me and Karen just flip out like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what the fuck?
For some reason, you can just see it.
Yeah, we're gonna get caught. We're gonna get fucking.
My highlight of that night is me and Ned when we looked at you.
Yeah, I was holding the full stick over my shoulder.
Like this, and we're just like, you just look like a fucking like punk rock like pool shark. You know what I mean? It's like we're just for like 20 minutes, bro. That is shrooms and ecstasy, bro. I would say shrooms probably more, but like you just geek so hard, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's like God damn.
I grew the last time I took acid, I geeked. It was probably the hardest I geeked in a long ass time, bro. Because I just remember fucking. Just like I don't know, man. I just felt like at that moment, like it was just like I was running at like peak mind performance. I was just geeking at like the shit I was just like trying to do like on this game playing against Nebby. I'm just like, I'm telling you, I'm just trying to crazy shit.
Trying to break the game.
It's just like you're trying to break the game. Exactly. I always try to do crazy shit like that. You know?
Yeah.
I remember when we tried to play FIFA, I was geeking because like I kept trying to I was just like. Lob, shoot it from midfield and just try and do some stupid ass shit.
Acid definitely makes you geek way more.
Yeah.
When you're like taking a bunch of shrooms, you're like, you geek.
Dude, I mean, like the last time we did it, like, I was spooked. I was like spooked for a second. I was just like,
yeah, that was just me and you. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, plus like it was something different about just being surrounded by that amount of darkness. Also, I was just like. I don't know. It just didn't feel safe, you know. It was weird.
But really, we were the safest we ever been.
Exactly, you know. I mean, it's. I mean, that was next time. I definitely want to do them during a day, and I'd definitely be dope. I'd be fine with that, you know.
It's a
But that's
little
the
bit more sketchier, but yeah.
well, that location, it's just like,
What
you
do you
know,
want to do?
I was like, I can see everything around me, so just like someone's coming to run in
Someone's
the
walking
house.
up.
I was running the
it's locked
house.
again- it's
I was
locked
running the
again.
house. Shut the garage doors. And
What's
like,
up?
we're gone. No one's home. It's
No
never
one's
answering.
here. Just we making sounds and shit. Man, that was,
He's making me geek. I'm just laughing. No one's home.
go away. That literally is how it would be,
I've been
bro.
geeking hard as fuck, bro.
That's why I was like, I always go back to like when we were talking to Tyler one time. It's like we were just talking like everybody should have a shroom trip. It's even if it's not like intellectual or nothing for you, just for that good geek session, bro. Just so you
Exactly,
could just
man.
geek.
Exactly,
Just
like
geek as hard as you ever geeked in your life, bro. I feel like the word geeked was invented for shroom trips. Like you just never laugh that hard, bro. And every time you try and stop, you just like harder and
yeah,
harder.
yeah, man.
It's like a hole of laughter, bro.
Definitely overdue for a good one. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, man.
No, it's just been time to just like no.
But doesn't it just seem like it would be fun with like a group of people?
Yeah, I'd have a
Like,
blast, man.
it seems like it would be fun with like 6, 8 people, something like that.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
just goes, just like all geeking at each other.
That's the thing, like if we had access to mushrooms, and I'll just be like, look, everyone just come up, take them. We'll be chilling out here, bro. Just be like, everyone will be cool. We're good out here. We're all good out here. You know what I'm saying? No, we don't get. If we're taking them at night, we can't get too loud. That's it. If we take them during our day, it just seems everything's like normal. No one's gonna bother us. Would be good.
Yeah, because last time I was thinking like swimming.
That's
What the
so one thing
fuck?
I wanted to do. I was like, bro, I just want to get in this fucking water, bro,
I feel like it's still too
with some goggles, bro, and just be like,
Oh my god, everybody underwater with goggles. That would be crazy, bro.
I can breathe water. It's just fucking. Just swallow
Perfect form. Reminds me of when Nebby jumped. Remember when he hit the water? Damn!
It was like he smacked that shit with full bags, and it was just like comes out the water, just he's like dog paddling to the side. Just,
That is some funny shit, bro.
Yeah, that's one that's always in my head, man. Whenever I swim, I think
He
about that.
second guessed it, man. And that's a curse. Anytime you go on YouTube and you're looking at like mountain falls off of them cliffs, it's always people second guessing themselves.
Well, I don't think he second guessed himself. I think he just tried to do the typical Nebby thing, and was just trying to like force it like through his own willpower in air without actually doing form. But if he tried hard enough, his body would then rotate, kind of deal.
He was just too big to do it.
I don't think he was scared necessarily. It was just like
chubby at the time.
he was just trying to power through. He just like backflip and just trying to force himself to flip, but like he had no form of like tucking knees or anything.
See, I feel like I'm just saying from personal experience. When I for a long time I couldn't do a backflip on things. Now I'm a perfect back artist.
Oh yeah,
backflip artist.
Yeah.
Not that I can do it like in the air or not like that, but like I can do it on a trampoline. I can do it into a pool. I can do a backflip now.
Okay, cool.
And
okay,
it's
cool,
because
cool.
I commit. Like that's the only thing I ever had to do. I just would never commit to it. You jump, and as soon as you get right here, you panic, and you just end up landing on your back or your neck or something. Once I got on that trampoline, I was like, you know what? I'm fitting to break something or land this. Like I got to the point where I kept falling. I committed to it, and then like ever since then, bro. Like I mean,
you just know what to do.
I've done 20 foot, into the water jumps, like backflips, bro. Like, hey, I got a picture doing one.
That's cool.
Like, doing a backflip, like. And all it ever was commitment.
Yeah.
That's all it ever took.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you got 20 feet, all you got to do is commit your legs to going up. And your body will do the rest. Like, that really isn't it. People don't commit their leg. You got to throw your legs. If you don't throw your legs, you don't get a rotation. You just go like this. And then you lay on your back.
Yep.
You got to throw them legs. And it's hard for people to commit to that.
That's why like when you see a lot of gymnasts, like when they do like straight up backflips on the, like when you see them tuck, like they'll like, they always do that smacking thing on like their knees midair. Like that's because like they bring their knees in, smack them real quick. It's like
that's how they
trigger.
Get that wet too,
the trigger,
right?
exactly.
Like,
yeah, we're just like that's the thing. Like they tuck their knees. As soon as they get their knees tucked in, and boom, smack, tuck in everything. Smack. Audible Q2. There you go.
That guy who does the big ass jumps and lands in them little ass pools.
Yeah.
I always picture when he gets up, he's holding back tears, right? He's just like, His shit all red and all hurting and bruised. You know, he's just like,
The water's covering his tears.
yeah, exactly. This shit's stinging, bro. That's how I always felt
The
about
goggles
monks.
smack my eyes.
When that monks get kicked in the nuts and like it don't hurt, I'm just like, I think you went in your little hut and cried afterwards. That's what I think.
I think you were a little sore like a workout after that. You know what I'm saying? No,
No,
like,
your nuts were hurting.
you weren't not sore. That's all I'm saying, you know?
Right.
You ever see people who do the death dives where they jump off the big ass like diving board and they'll just be like, you know, like they'll just do like a huge belly flop from like 100. Like,
not 100 feet.
it's not 100 feet, but
yeah.
like, yeah, you know, it's hilarious though.
Yeah.
And I would love something like that.
Because you know they hurt.
I would love something like that. That's all I'm
What?
saying.
You would love to do a belly flop?
No, I would love like that type of setup where I can run and just jump off this thing. It's like a running start and just jump off into this huge, long, deep pool. You know, it is like
Not to a belly flop though.
not a belly flop, no,
Right.
but just jump off and it's like, you know, just like it's a fucking it's a
Front
it's
flip, back
a big
flip,
ass diving pool.
cannonball.
It's just a diving pool, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd just be fun as fuck. Especially the way they run and jump off it, just be like and just launch themselves like fucking 20 feet forward, just like
Man, that's like I always love the Ryan go because like my next mission is to be able to do the Ryan forward backwards backflip. You ever seen that?
oh, we run forward.
Ryan forward, then as you come off the cliff, you do a backflip.
Yeah.
That's my next goal. You know, I want to be able to do that, man. So
Yeah.
I would love to run through a couple of things. Just like I said, it's hard. You gotta commit. You know.
Oh yeah,
You
man.
just gotta
yeah.
commit, but that's a scary one for me.
Yeah.
'Cause it just don't make sense, you know. It's like I'm going forward, but I'm going backwards.
Yeah, I mean, like you have like more time, I guess, but I mean, like it's definitely harder to get your body to swing.
I mean, I get stuck still, you know. I got stuck this year at Beaver Dam, you know, that fucking on that ramp, like on the swing thing. Like it's a good 20 foot, you know, on that drop at the end, somewhere around 15, 20 feet. I was doing 360s, you know. I did a little spin, I did some shit, and I'm just like, all right, I'm not gonna do a backflip. I did a front flip. I was like, all right, I'm not doing a backflip. And like every time I got out there, I was like, don't feel right. Don't feel right. Don't feel right. And I kept doing it. Like the last time, like I tried a couple times, I just kept smacking it. I knew I wasn't committed.
You hurt
to
yourself?
Yeah, I hurt myself a couple times when I was going for it. Yeah, like landing on the back. I'm
Yeah.
okay, but it was like, fuck, you know.
It stings.
And like I
It stings.
knew I just couldn't commit to it
It
because like,
stings.
it feels so weird just holding on to this thing. I don't want to go in that water. Like I told you, like I like swimming. I know this place is safe and everything, but like in my mind, bro, like I do not want to go in that water.
No,
So every
man.
time when I'm about to release off here, the last thing I want to do is a trick. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about like as I'm dropping, I'm trying to lean towards going back to the side. You know what I mean? Like I do not like being in that water, regardless of how you tell me there's nothing in there. I just don't. It's too murky. You know, even though I know I'm good, but like, and I know I could do a backflip. I just kept freezing.
That's
up.
why I like this big ass wide long pool. Like it just eliminates everything. Like you know, just go into this clear water.
For sure.
Just clear water.
But there is something to swimming in like open natural
I
areas,
feel you.
right?
I
There is something
feel
to
you.
that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I definitely will feel you on that. But as far as like, I don't know, man, just like I would just love that. You know, just because like it just kind of like endless, just like freedom. You know, you just kind of just run, jump off this bitch, and just like you don't gotta worry about it as long as you don't smack your back. You know, it's
I
like
was watching biggest like wave pools basically in the world. And they're
that's
going through the
cool.
list. Damn, bro, there's some huge ones, right? But number one, they're in China, of course. It fucking malfunctioned one time, bro. And it times the force that it's supposed to send by 100. So it came out, it was just a regular, it wasn't a crazy wave pool. It was like a regular, like Six Flags one, basically. But
Yeah.
it times it by 100. And it just fucking blew like this 25-foot wave, you know. It just took everyone out. Not 25, probably like 15. It just took everyone all the way to the back, bro. It blew everybody out of the water.
Oh
and the
my
wave
God,
broke
man.
up. I was like, it seemed cool though. You
Oh,
know?
yeah, you just gotta be ready for that.
It probably hurts a little bit at the end when you get like rolled.
let
and
me go to
shit.
like, man, that'd be
Probably
cool.
get scraped up a little bit, but that's cool.
That would be cool, man. That'd be badass.
Ride
you know
that
what I'm
thing
saying?
out.
Cause I remember like the wave pool was my favorite
love the
fucking
wave pool,
thing, bro. It's like
I say I feel safe in the wave pool. Like I just do because there's so many people around.
yeah,
I'm always just like, there's no chance I die over you.
Yeah, exactly.
I always know I survive you. I'll survive this guy. you
well,
know?
that like now they make you wear a life jacket. That bitch. Like if you go to wave pool from my scene, you gotta have a life jacket on. No,
Don't.
No?
We just
No.
hit the wave pool last time.
I didn't go. I didn't go over there. Remember?
You
Yeah, I didn't
never
go.
went in it?
I didn't go over there with you.
I
Yeah,
don't
never.
have no
No.
fucking life jacket. In the
Maybe the
wave
kids
pool.
have
Wave
to. I
pool
don't know.
ain't even
Maybe
that
the kids
scary.
have
It goes
to.
up
No.
like 9 feet.
I don't know.
The wave. Yeah. No, I've seen people with it, but you ain't got to.
No, I thought you had to now. I was just like,
When
You
you're a
know?
swimmer like me, bro, okay, last thing you need is that. You're basically an
yeah,
Indian.
I love diving in them bitches, bro. Just go under them, you just get hit by one. You just
It's
go
just so
underwater,
fun.
you know,
ain't
just
it?
like,
That's
just-
like that's my favorite thing in the ocean too. Just throw yourself in a wave.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
just,
man.
It's just fun for some
That's why I
reason.
want to. That's why I want to surf, bro. You know,
I wanna
just
be
like
about 20-foot
you
wave.
ride this wave on top, and then you
Crash.
just bail out. You're just like,
Yeah. I pit it, bro.
I want to come back here with my
I
bears.
tubed down.
Oh, dog, the best part's tubing out. You know, just like
I barreled in. Then the wave came crashing. I barreled back out.
I buckled in. I love how they talk.
Yeah, that's the best.
I want to talk like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's from eating a couple
They
hard
seem
weeks.
radical, I feel like.
Yeah.
Radical.
Well, they're always just like, yeah, I give it out, just blah. It's like, it just hammered
It's
me.
like,
I was hammered, you know, just like you tubed out, you know, just like it came out his bitch, just like I was peeking on top of the wave and riding, and you know, just like it crashed early.
You remember that guy who saved them people from that crazy dude? He hit the guy with the hammer. And he was like a crazy guy. He had this big afro and he was homeless. There's a famous video.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
the
he's
one
t-
dude, he was like, I came out like smash,
Yeah.
smash. Yeah, that guy, man.
I wish we could now play that.
Yeah.
That needs to be shown to the audience right now.
His name's Kai.
Yeah,
Kai.
Yeah, what's
Kai,
his
that guy.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just like, I'm like, what, dude? Smash.
Smash.
I'm out. So I'm like, do that every time. Like, that guy was cool, man.
Yeah.
The way he talked though was so crazy, man.
That's funny because he's in jail apparently for a murder now.
No way.
Yeah, you see that?
Don't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, he was interviewed and he talks the same way. He's just like, you know, yeah, man, it's just this. There's no way I could have done it. Like, it's just I'm innocent.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's caught up, man.
Sucks.
Yeah. Caught
I'd
up.
say he gets out.
He
And we're
might,
even.
but I don't know.
We're even.
There you go.
He owed God a death.
Why? For the other guy
You
off?
have to ask the Final Destination writer.
For the
bro.
guy.
Only he knows that.
That's a question for that guy. I'm pretty sure that guy's dead.
It's out of my pay range.
Pretty sure he's died.
People love saying that, don't they? Oh, white man.
Yeah.
It's out of my pay grade.
Big
That's
grade,
above my
way
pay
above
grade.
her. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, but I also like pulling that too sometimes. You know, just like oh, there's a little bit above what I get paid. You know,
Once you learn it, you do it once.
because
You
there's
really
some
do.
shit where you just be like that really is kind of just like above my pay grade. Like
Everybody now.
I don't get paid enough to try and figure this out for you.
I
Because
don't know about you, but everybody else is like, you central? I'm just like, I'm out here. You know, you see
those
me
are the
in a-
jokes now, man. Yeah,
you see me in a work truck.
yeah.
This guy was like trying so hard to talk to me though. It was like you ever see like I had some times today where like people tried so hard to talk to me and like I had no interest.
Oh, bro.
Like, it was
Same
this-
thing
it was
today,
like
man.
A mean looking dude at Wawa. You know, and he's just like, as we're coming out, he's just like, hot as a balls today. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just trying to leave. And he's just like, quarantine gonna be wild tonight. And he's like, you essential. And I'm just like geeked out. I'm just like, I'm essential, bro.
Yeah.
I just like walk. I'm just like, what the fuck? And then like I'm coming back that way, and this guy just stops me, bro. This white guy right around the corner. He like stops me, yo. And he's like, hole right there. It was filled with water. Had roaches coming out of it. I just poured this hot steaming water down into it. They all came out. He's like, right there. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Is this shit zombie fighting you or something? This is the first zombie COVID. You know what I mean?
I had the same thing. Like the only reason I went there because we had this big ass delivery. It's a booklet making machine, you know, but it's like you know 1,800 pounds pretty much, and we're just trying to get it up 2 stairs into a doorway with ramps and shit and pry bars and just trying to get underneath it and get it on top of dollies and all this fucking fucked up shit. We're fucking with this machine. People are just walking by. They're just like, what is that? You know, we're just like, booklet making machine. And it's like, You look around and it's like, print shop, huh? It's just like they start talking to us about like things. It's like, well, I want to make a book, okay? So we're just like, 1,000 pounds, you know, like we're literally pushing this thing up a ramp and a lady comes up, you guys got 75 cents? And like one of the dudes at work, he's just like, oh, we got 1,000 pounds right here, bitch. Like, you know, just like, it's like we're pushing it up a ramp right now. It's like, it's like, it's like
That is
yeah, it's like, why is everyone trying to talk to us right now?
That.
Everyone wants to come up and talk to us and be like, oh yeah. Yeah, so I've been thinking about getting this business card made, and we're just like, yeah, it's just okay. It's just trying to push this thing out. It's like,
I'm just so confused right
like-
now. Why aren't you guys just cutting this thing open and breaking it down?
oh, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
You got 1,000 pounds,
These-
bro. Just
I mean,
set up an
it
assembly
was
line
shipped
here.
in one piece.
But you
They're
said it's
moving it
pamphlets,
in one
right?
piece. It's a booklet maker. No, it's a
Oh, it's a
machine
machine.
that
Oh.
puts stuff together.
Ah, I
It's
thought
a
you
huge
said it was
piece.
like pamphlets. I'm
That's a
like,
huge piece of equipment. It came in 2 parts. That's all I really asked for. Just one of those parts happened to weigh 1,800 pounds. Like it's,
so many people you got on that.
we got it in with 5 people.
That's pretty good.
And we did good, bro. We definitely did good, man. At one point, I had this really
You got
long.
perform. You
I had-
brought a
So look,
stand,
listen.
yeah.
I want to say I was fully responsible for getting it, most of that lifting in, bro. I'm just saying.
You're
So
right, man.
I had this long ass lead pipe, you know, which at one point had nice leverage, but it kept bending. So I would stick it in further and further with less and less leverage as it bent more. So there was a point where like it's really short. I'm pretty much just like pulling straight with my legs and getting this bitch up, like, you know, like up on one end a little bit to move it a little bit, you know. It was like, I mean, I'd be lifting all 1,800, but I was like, that dude, he helped with 300 of it. I had the other 8. Like, that's, you know, just like, I swear, bro. I swear, bro. It was just like, probably not 800, but like, I'm literally pulling this bitch out. Like, it's just like, oh, it was definitely, you know, a hassle. You
That
know?
sounds like it. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a lot of weight.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, since we're like, we don't have no loading dock or nothing. So, like, the first part was getting it up the ramp on a pallet jack onto the sidewalk with ramps. From the street to the sidewalk, from the sidewalk up these 2 steps with ramps. Like, oh, it's just such a huge bitch getting
that's
shit
a
into
long
here,
way,
bro.
yeah.
Because there's no way to drop stuff in and get it in, you know? Just like we have
And
big
she
equipment.
saves money though by paying 5 of you
Well, there's some things we couldn't move. We had to hire like a freight company.
pussies.
Like a big, like, this should have been maybe one of those things, but we
I'm
got
about to say
it.
1,800 seems like it should be.
We got
Hey,
we,
let's do something
we
else.
got we got it in. That was like cool. You know?
You wake up tomorrow, it's like, that reminds me of like, yo, a couple weeks back, like there was this guy. He's one of them guys that's like, got to grab the biggest piece of glass, bro, and got to do it by himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody else just grabbing, like, we're in no rush. We don't got no time limit, bro.
Yeah.
We're just unloading a truck. We're sitting there taking it off. This guy got to grab a big one by himself. You know what I mean? And as he's walking by, he's like talking to the other guy. He's like, pussies. You know, it's like talking to the dude. Bro, I swear to God, the next day he comes in, he got some back brace on, you know? And everybody's just geeking so hard,
man.
bro.
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
Literally, fuck this. Yo, and he'll be doing it with some big ass sketchy glass, yo. Like that'll be flexing on his shoulder, just be holding it there. I'm like, nah, bro, you're a dumbass.
So like, I'll pick up and move paper throughout the shop sometimes. You know what? Some of the stuff can be really heavy. Some of the stuff is just solid. You know, it's just bulk weight. You know, just there'll be times where I'll be carrying around when I drop it somewhere. I drop it a little extra harder. Just makes it sound a little heavier. I'm just like boom, boom. And just like.
I'm gonna squat at that. I just squatted that 5 times.
Exactly.
You want to rep, Susan?
Hey, I'll spot you.
Yeah.
I love seeing those spotting fails. Have you ever seen those, like when people shit just goes sideways or something? Yo, that shit's so funny.
Yeah.
You see some bad ones, yo, where it lands on their neck, bro.
Or like just like yeah,
I've seen
I-
some bad ones. Bro.
neck, bro, strap, fucking like just like 400
400
pounds just
pounds.
on your chest, just like oh,
That shit ain't even worth it.
it's just like, and as soon as it slips, it's just like
You know it's over. As soon as I lose the thumbs, right?
it is fucking
My thumbs!
done,
My
man.
thumbs!
Oh, this is the worst, man. I don't know what
And if
people
it lands on your chest, you're lucky.
like. The ones I see a lot of are when people squat stuff and their knees just blow out or some
Oh
shit,
my
bro.
God, bro. Have you ever seen when they throw up or they bleed
Yeah,
from their fucking nose and shit?
yeah,
I seen one guy that threw up. Yo, the
Yeah.
guy that broke the world record, yo, he threw up.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
You just
So
yeah.
much force, bro.
There's so much strain.
Dog,
your
and now
entire
I'm sitting there
body.
thinking about like, okay, say if this guy really was in survival mode, like adrenaline mode, Oh my God, what can he lift, bro?
Like,
Like legit, if you just lifted 1,000-pound squat, like you could lift 2,000 with survival on your
with
body.
survival and fucking adrenaline. Exactly,
Yeah,
man. You have
dog.
some ridiculous fucking strength going on. Yeah, oh my God, bro. It's like, I'm not. I mean, like, you probably just fucking like flip a car. Just like just fucking flip that bed.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
even want to be that strong.
bro.
I feel like you couldn't even thrust no more. You ain't even a good fuck. You know what I mean?
I
It's
don't.
hard to ride you because you got these big old thighs now.
Net.
Everything's hard. The back shots ain't the same because you're just all muscle. You know what I mean? You're not giving that ass.
I've
back.
seen. I remember there's
You're
this
just
one.
like,
There's this one video where like the dude puts like a sticker on this guy's back, and then he's just like he's so swole. He's just trying he's like he can't get any part of like his like
He
top
can't reach his
shoulder
back.
from
That's
his top
crazy.
shoulder. He's just like you know, just like I do not, bro. I don't
Somebody
want.
walk around like this.
That's my thing. Like everyone's always like talking about this. Like I've always wanted like a 6-pack. I never wanted that. You know,
I do want
I
a
never wanted a
six-pack.
6-pack.
That
Never
is a
wanted-
goal of mine.
You know,
But for me, like I never.
I'll be happy with a V.
I want to be.
I'm happy with that V going on. I need a fucking ab show and
For
somebody
me,
get a
it's
solid V.
It's like a personal thing I want to prove to myself. You
So you
know,
get abs.
it's not about like what people say.
You just starve yourself a little while. You know.
No, I want to earn them. You know, I want to 8-cut you on Romero's. You
Yeah,
know?
but you also gotta like cut
it.
fat hard just so you can get them to show. Because like knocking that fat off right there, especially at that point where you want to get them really
I don't
pronounced
have any
abs,
fat, bro.
pronounced abs, bro. You have some fat
I
up
mean,
on top of your abs. That's just straight up.
man, it's got to be low, bro.
And I think if you don't work them out, I think like you would get some. I don't think you get a 6er going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? You might get some definition
A 6, bro.
without cutting some fat. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, well, in the
But I cut
process
some
of
fat.
getting my abs, I would be cutting some fat. I'm just saying, I mean, I don't think I got much to cut there. Man, literally, I don't know how much weight I could possibly
Well, that's the
cut.
thing. Like there's not like doing ab exercises won't make you lose fat there. You gotta lose fat all over.
Right,
you
but
know?
doing
You know?
ab exercises will love you.
We'll burn fat. We'll burn fat.
right?
Yeah. We get a 6er without a proper fat diet.
Later,
Probably not. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know, you gotta go on a fat burn,
you
bro.
challenging me, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'll get abs this time.
during the
Ab
quarantine,
red.
ab quarantine, right there.
Ab quarantine.
Yeah.
What's up?
That's the one thing is like
I just bought
since
30
I've been
planks.
off these past couple days, I've been super lazy, haven't done shit, bro.
Wow.
I gotta use my quarantine time good now, bro. Now I got time out. I gotta do shit.
Don't waste it, Steve.
I gotta do
I'm telling
shit.
you, bro. Listen, I took off what 9 days. You know, I had 9 days off, bro. I didn't do shit. I painted a little bit in the,
I took off.
the bathroom.
I mean, last week I worked. No, this week, yeah, last week I didn't work. I worked half day. I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, half day. Was off Thursday, Friday, half day Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, half day. To what's today?
It's Monday.
Today's Monday. Oh shit! I'm thinking like
I was wondering where you were going.
Monday. So yeah, so I had half day today. Now I'm at the beginning of like, you know, I've only had like 3-4 days off.
The
now,
other
so.
day I'm sitting there, it's like my 8th day, bro. I'm just like, but it's my laziest day. I just sat in the bed watching UFC Fight Pass all fucking day, bro. And like, I came to a point where like around 5 o'clock, I was like, I think I have to literally do something physical to my body to make it work out. You know, it's like I still find a reason, but I definitely just want to harden up. You know what I mean? I just feel pussy.
Yeah.
I feel soft right now.
Yeah, same for me, man. You know,
It's a long winter, you know. I expected to be
just sitting
balling
around a
right
lot.
now by
Yeah,
this time.
I'm just sitting around a lot, and now there's no organized sports. But I mean, like, I just got like tomorrow, like, I'm gonna just go outside running probably like 11 o'clock, and just like, cause I can do that now. Just like, you know, yeah, you gotta do something. You know, do some form of activity. You know, if you want to choose to do nothing the whole day, you gotta do something to earn that enough that day.
If you're jogging and cops pull up, give you $100 fine. Are you fighting that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to
I
court.
don't have work now, right?
I'll see you in court. Exactly. I'll see you in court, buddy. I got time. Let me go read up. Let me go read up. You know what I'm saying?
Today I got time.
I got time today. Yeah, for real, man. Like I'm already trying to think about what I might do tomorrow. You know, just to try and be proactive. I'll probably get some cleaning done.
Sweat.
Some exercise. I mean, tonight I'll probably be a piece of shit. Play some Warzone a little late. Sleep in a little bit.
There's no doubt you should be
Go
playing
cleaning.
Warzone every night.
Maybe do a little bit of cleaning. Gotta go outside and gotta run, man. Gotta do some exercise, man.
Gotta get a run in.
Gotta do some exercise, man. I'm probably gonna take my dog for a walk. And from there, bro, like I am probably from there, bro, like tomorrow, also, bro, I'm gonna start trying to clip hella shit, bro, for the fucking. I'm trying to clip so much stuff, bro.
Yes.
I know. I'm gonna try and just get it. I have the time. Let me just do it. Let me get it done.
I like it.
You know, let me just get that shit done, man. I downloaded all the episodes. That took forever. I know all of them, but I downloaded a bunch of episodes on my computer.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I guess gotta go into those with some times, cut them up, and just, you know, I'll start with the ones you got and just do what I do from there.
Right.
You know, and
I
just
like
try and be productive. Because, like I said, at this point, I'm probably gonna be off, you know, for next 2 weeks, definitely. You know, so I see it. 2 weeks off next week. You know, this the rest
I
of
was
this.
saying at least 2.
At least 2,
Right.
yeah.
What you're hoping for is 6 weeks off.
Well, I mean,
At
I'm not
least.
hoping for anything. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, you know, like, hey, look,
Yeah.
look,
Right.
look,
Yeah. We
yeah.
all secretly are.
Yeah, but
you see the SpongeBob
but-
meme where it's
but-
like he's reading a book, bro. His eyes are going both ways. And
It's
it's
I-
like, thankful I have a job, man. I'm not off with the rest of everyone.
Yeah. yeah, same thing, bro.
SpongeBob meme, everything.
I mean, the longer I get off, that just means the worse it keeps getting, which I don't want it to do. I don't want it to keep getting worse. You
you
know,
want to get off.
you know, but
You want
it's
6
all,
weeks
I
off.
would love to have 6 weeks
And a
off while
12-hour
working.
check.
I would love that paid, and I get paid the whole time. Like I don't gotta worry about not getting paid. Like that is
Even if
great.
you could survive off.
Even if it's
could you
2/3
survive-
of my pay, bro.
Could you survive
I'll make it
off,
work.
Well, the max is what, 430, right? 460.
The way I was broken down to me is it was like
unless they're adding
if it's
the
if it's
regular
due
max is
if
460.
if it's due to coronavirus, I believe they'll cover up to $200 a day for 2/3 of your normal pay for some period of time. That's my understanding of it. I don't know how it works. I don't even think the state knows how it works yet, to be quite honest.
Huh.
Everything's being fucking rushed, man. Everything's happening so quickly. We didn't have a good system before at the Department of Labor. It's now going to dog shit because of the amount of claims coming through the fucking office.
Make them extra check.
Plus, they're also not working in offices anymore right now.
that's true.
They're working from home
Do
right
you
now.
think that means everyone's gonna get passed, or they're gonna extra check?
I just think there'll be an extreme backlog. And if you have a problem, you gotta do it, get canceled, maybe resubmit, wait another 3 weeks. Who knows what the fuck this is going? I don't know. Because we're just starting off with this shit. I have no idea how it's gonna work.
You're the worst economic advisor of all time. Okay. I need someone in this boardroom.
I
Tell me,
probably-
how's this gonna go down precisely?
I'll probably know as much as
I would
they
know more
probably
if he does
know.
now.
You know, it's probably as much as
I
they
would
know.
assume
You know what I'm
it's-
saying? So I don't know, man. But yeah,
I will know as much as Fox
You-
News.
wouldn't love, 6 weeks off of work.
Can you
you know?
survive on 460 a week?
Yeah, I'll make it work. Yeah,
Make that work.
yeah. Things would be tighter, but I mean, I can do that.
We're not gonna buy less weed.
I probably won't. That's probably true. Yes. But I'll also think if I do these things, like I promise
Right, get out
I'll
there.
smoke a little bit less at least than what I normally would if I was just sitting there.
This is true.
Because let's be real, the 4 days I was home and off, I smoked like shit. I was a fucking chimney. I was just blowing that shit left and right. It was just like up like 3 times in like 5 days. Like it was ridiculous amounts of smoking going down.
But 430, 460 a month, whatever. Week, whatever it is, could make that work. You smack a $1,200 check on there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was
$1,200 check period. is gonna
I
be
mean,
good.
there was a point where I did make that and did live off that, So I would just I'll figure something out,
It'd be nice to get a free 12. That's all.
I might have to do a little hustle on the side, I might have to do a little something on the
Same
side, No, not that at all. That's what I was thinking at all, It's just- I'm not sure what I would use as supplement income. I was thinking like if I just do like some no contact DoorDash, I don't fucking know.
down with some side work.
Yeah,
Side work here.
What you got going
You
on?
know?
Is if it's
We can finesse something through the quarantines. I know a guy who knows guys. Okay?
the quarantine.
There's always some
It's-
No, each of us are going through a quarantine.
yeah,
So
quarantine. Quarantine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what you're getting at.
I'm getting at us blowing dudes in Patterson
You
Just something better.
can't do that anymore now, bro. You You used to be able to do that. Now after
Put it
8,
all in bloodies, too?
after 8, that's illegal.
Well, we still
After 8, that's illegal to do there now, man.
What's the morning shift?
Imagine getting
You got
fined.
that nasty 12 to 8 shift.
Imagine getting fined not because you were blowing the dude, because you weren't social distancing. Like blowing the dude,
No one
fine,
cares if
but you gotta be apart.
you're not slutting yourself out, whatever. Okay, but you're supposed to be 6 feet apart, and that's where you're fucking up.
There's a goddamn pandemic going on. You're out here sucking dick.
You picture like how weak of a pandemic this is. And then you picture like if we really got hit with a good one, like something that was like 50%
mortality.
Yeah.
Like imagine if Ebola got to this level.
I would just stay inside, bro.
Like
At
that's
that
what
point,
I'm
I
saying.
just go broke.
If you guys had a hemorrhagic fever, you'd fucking stay inside.
Doesn't it seem kind of fucked up to evict people in that case? Like, let's say it got to the point where all of us are just like, we ain't got the money for bills.
That's why they suspended them.
I know, but let's just say, what ain't suspend rent?
No, but they suspended evictions.
Right, but you're still owed rent.
Yep. Yeah.
So if you're still getting put out when it's time.
But someone was getting. I mean, like, someone was in the
But
process of getting evicted.
What
Right
I
now.
was trying to
Now
say
they're
is
not.
right. What I was trying to say is take it to the next level. Say if it's to the point where no one's going outside. It's to the point where like the mortality rate went up to 10%. It's super infectious. Just no one's even going outside at all. At that point, even if you don't own your home, you're renting your home. You're just like, this is my home, right? You got to kill me to take me out of here.
Well, that, like, in my opinion, I feel like we would have to be like, look, everyone has to suspend everything. That dude shouldn't worry about rent if he doesn't have to worry about paying the utilities right now, or paying the fucking BGE, or paying the mortgage on it because maybe he doesn't fully own the house yet, but he's still renting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to suspend every fucking thing.
You're getting crazy. Baltimore has guns, right? So let's say if like there was a point like that, right? And you're just like, time to evict. Bro, at that point, it's survival mode. If
Evict
I go
me.
Out, evict me. I'm lucky.
If I bitches together, evict me. Come on.
Eviction homes.
Yeah. Or like you're just like, huh, eviction?
Or, yeah, exactly. Or, like you got kids or something, you know what I mean? You know, it'd be cool, explosive throwing ninja stars.
Yeah, you'd be like a fucking.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, it'd be badass. But I mean, like,
Man,
man,
ninja stars in COD or something.
if throwing knives, but I mean, like,
not half as majestic.
yeah, you need a little
Ninja stars are cool.
I'm not sure how lethal they actually are, though. You know.
Me? What it is? Well, you would get like a set of 3, you know, and you gotta hit 3 to land or something. It's like just like ding 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 ding. You remember back when Yu-Gi-Oh was big and people really did have that thing, dog?
I never had a dual disc, bro.
I never had it neither.
I never had dual disc, man.
I've seen people with it.
People, I was jealous.
David's next door neighbor.
I was
Nick
jealous.
had one.
Yeah.
And he was like, I choose you. So I tried.
Attack mode. It always unfolded. Like it was always folded up, and then it would unfold. It was like, dude.
You know what was, dude, that I got though? Was that fucking Spider-Man thing? You know, that shoots
the web, the crazy string.
That was cool.
The crazy string reload.
Cool.
I had one of those. I never got more crazy string though.
No, but nobody did. You just rebought a whole new one later.
Well, I mean after
a year later,
after the first time, I was not to have it again.
I bought it one more time.
I was not to have it again.
Like a year later, I was like, that thing is so cool. I just never had a silly string.
I wasn't able to have it again. I was not allowed to have it again. I just sprayed it all over my house.
You know what I was thinking about that one talking about? What? Oh, you brought balls.
In like 5 minutes, I was out.
What happened to the presidential race? You know?
I don't know. It's still going on, but like.
But you haven't heard from Biden. He also has a sexual assault allegation going on.
He's been quiet.
It's a sexual assault allegation, bro.
And Bernie's out here having to vote on this damn bill. People are fucking with him, but he has to fuck with the stimulus bill. You know, that happened over the past couple weeks. You know,
I mean, they got it passed though. It's something that had to be passed, in my opinion. I don't know if the ramifications are perfectly, but apparently the Democrats got something that they wanted, which is like an overseeing department of how money's going to be allocated outside of citizens.
Yeah, you know. And
but
I mean,
Trump said he doesn't really care what they say.
And I mean,
Trump was going to do what he wants. Okay.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, I mean, like, I hate to be that guy. Today on the markets, but they did. I mean, like, the market did react positively to the stimulus that went on. You know, I mean, like, we've had 3 days now of like, you know, kind of like, you know, rising again. You know, just like
you say that's like I forget what podcast it was with Joe, but like the other day he was talking about how like what is the stock market? You know, it's like What do you mean it was a positive thing? You know, so why did that raise their?
It went up.
Why did that raise their dollar right now?
It went up.
You know what I mean? It's weird. It's like weird how like you watch these numbers that just move constant. It's like who's really doing it, and what is the formula, and why is it accurate? Like it's like, and why is it not taxed? That's the big thing to me, right? Is like once Bernie brought up that tax, I was like, that makes 100%.
True.
You
Yeah.
know, why
100%.
wouldn't you tax stocks? If not, then yeah, the safest thing you can do is a stock, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess that's why it is, because it's encouraged you to buy stock.
I mean, but it's like no one. No one's buying any. What are
Can
you
a country
buying?
be
There's
running
just
on no
like,
stock market.
you know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. Well, that's what I think is weird because I believe we were the ones to create a stock exchange, and then it just seemed like other countries followed suit. Like I believe like Europe has their own one, Germany has their own one, Japan has their own stock market, China has its own stock market.
But no matter what, in Japan,
But South Africa doesn't have a stock
cola
market.
is selling for what it's selling in America, though, right? It's not different appraisals, right?
Oh, so I believe only American companies are traded on the American Stock Exchange, just like only German companies are traded on their stock exchange. But I know you can go public
buy
in
Coca-Cola?
other. I think you can go public in other. You would have to purchase it on an American stock. I believe it's how it works, but you would have to purchase it on an American stock exchange. Something like Coca-Cola.
Makes sense.
Like, well, I don't think you can buy Coca-Cola on. But also, companies have then crossed the barrier. Like Boeing is a European company, but they're traded openly on the American stock market. So I think you can go public in other stock markets. You know, and I believe they're also traded in the Chinese stock market. I don't know.
So we count Nike as American now, even though they ain't making no shoes over here.
Yeah,
I seen a sketchy
I don't know
thing
how it
like that
works. I
about
don't know.
cruise ships, bro. They
What
were
about 'em?
showing about how we're about to buy out the airlines are the airlines, right? But we're also about to buy out cruise ships, right? Well, they were
Maybe.
going. We are. It's already allocated. That got passed, Steve.
Yeah,
That's all
but
about when the
no,
money's coming.
cruise ships were left out.
Cruise ships were left out.
Cruise ships were left out, yeah, cruise ships were left
I
out.
seen that airplanes were in it.
Oh,
Okay.
they
They got
airlines.
25 billion.
But one thing that Steve Mnuchin said was that this is not the airline bailout, so that's still to come.
Yeah, but that's what he's supposed to say.
That's
right?
still to
'Cause
come.
What they do, though.
That's what,
But he's
and
never
that's
going
what.
to say that.
Well, that's
'cause he
what
has stocks in
That's what the
airlines.
airline. Well, that's what the airline's worried about is that they're pressing them to come now. You know, but they're not coming. You know.
But
Real quick.
Anyway,
the
yeah,
thing
go
that
ahead.
I
Yeah,
learned
go
on
ahead.
cruise ships, right?
Yes.
Is that even cruise ships that come into our port, like in Baltimore and shit, they fly under a different flag so that they don't have to pay American tax rate, bro. So like the Carnival cruise is like under Slovakia or some shit, bro.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That is crazy,
Same thing with
bro.
Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruise Line.
So
Which
how
is
is it an American company on that stock market? You know what I mean? But it makes its fucking shoes in China.
Exactly. I have no idea. I mean, like, I don't know.
But that also brings me to, isn't it crazy how, like, I was talking about this on the status the other day about, like, how often, like, capitalism does need a buyout.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like all the time. It's like, but like, right, this thing happens, right? They expect for everyone else, right? They expect for citizens to have months of money put away, right? They think $1,200 is enough, right?
Yes.
But in just 4 weeks, basically, multi-billion-dollar companies can't even sustain partial loss of
exactly
of customers.
For a couple of months.
That's a couple weeks.
Exactly.
2 weeks in there, it can work out, bro.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
So I got to the bottom a little bit of this.
Maybe it's got ahead of it.
As far as the buybacks go. So when a company turns profits, there's a couple of things they can do with that money. You know, they can go into R&D. They can, put more money into the company as far as machines. They can pay workers.
They can buy back
stocks. Yes, which is a way for them to reimburse shareholders.
Right.
So, like when you're looking at it, it's like, I can only imagine being a shareholder. You're just like, give me my fucking money.
Yeah.
But that's where most of their profits are going into buybacks, which they're returning their profits to the investors. But in turn, also less stock is on the market, raising their stock price.
Exactly.
Raising their stock price.
Right. They're also
up
raising
to crazy
their
levels,
stock. Right.
And like I said, when like a lot, like this is the thing, they're going to start selling stocks every now. Gets at 30. People are going to be looking to buy a bunch, whatnot. They're going to sell off a bunch. and then they're gonna do another buyback once it gets up to like 70 or 80, and just they're just gonna keep buying it back as it rises and rises and keep making it more valuable.
Do
and
you
more
think
valuable.
those stockbrokers were recommending their clients just ride out whatever they had inside of there, and then they're still in there today, and they're hoping to bounce it back in 6 months? Or do you think they told them you should probably sell 3 months ago, get rid of it now?
I think the speed at which it happened, people got caught off guard, and that's what people were worried about. Was that people's what they were investing in, they lost like 80% value or so within the course of 4 weeks.
Does it seem ludicrous to say that politicians shouldn't own stocks?
I don't think so.
It should be a thing, right?
Because it's no secret that most politicians, especially in Congress, House, are have a net worth of millions of dollars, and then for them to play such a crucial role in deciding economic policy while also having millions of dollars in the stock market
and getting behind the scenes information
exactly that no one else knows it, not even fucking Bloomberg.
Seems like it shouldn't be famous, right?
It seems extremely sketchy.
I brought this up to you before, but when I bring stuff like this all up, I always go back to Jimmy Carter, right? Who sold his peanut farm.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want it to be a conflict of interest.
Yeah. It's integrity.
He sold everything.
And that's what.
And what's Jimmy out there doing still to this goddamn day? Touring with the Red Cross, building fucking Indonesian homes.
What's that fucking black guy from Fallen, man? Just like building them homes, man. 90 fucking years old, man. 90 years old.
I shared a video the other day that was showing like compare and contrast in Biden and Sanders. And they were showing how, like,
I didn't know that Biden got actually caught and reprimanded for saying that he was involved in the civil rights movement. You should go on my page if you haven't seen it.
Joe Biden, yeah.
You should check this page out, this video out. It's actually a very good video. It shows, they got plenty of video of him saying around the late 70s or whatever it was, early 70s, I got involved in the civil rights movement. He says that over and over and over. Well, eventually, like, not the NAACP, but a black organization comes forward and was like, look, you weren't in any movements. You know what I mean? You weren't in any of this stuff, and you need to stop saying this. So eventually he has to make another video announcement, which is one video of him saying, did I tour the buses? No. Was I there locking myself to restaurants? No. But I worked with blacks, is what he says, African Americans, and I understood how they were feeling at the time. Right? And then after that happens, after he gives that announcement, he still goes on to this day to say, I was a part of the civil rights movement. He says that. Meanwhile, Bernie fucking Sanders was actually locked up, bro. Yeah. There's pictures of him with MLK. There's pictures of him being torn away by cops, Yeah. There's another one that shows him going how just continuously saying that NAFTA was a good deal. They got plenty of Joe Biden saying NAFTA's a great deal. I signed NAFTA and we should do NAFTA. There's Bernie Sanders saying NAFTA's a horrible fucking deal. And then they got behind the scenes audio of Trump when he was running for president of him saying Bernie Sanders is the one I fear because of his beliefs on trade. He said he also believes that we're getting screwed. That's exactly what he says on there. That don't have nothing to do with nothing. But it's just that he does also see trade this way,
exactly.
It's different basically. And
which is
fucking us too.
Which is a big thing on Trump's side currently is his, raging war on trade deals left and right all around the world.
Which I always said since the beginning of Trump, it's the one thing I thought he was doing right. Yeah. I always thought we were getting fucked on a lot. Yeah. I brought that up to you.
Especially from China.
Yeah, I always said it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And why are we allowing them to steal our property? Why is that not being reprimanded? How do we owe them money when we're your number one supplier also? There should be some kind of beneficial here of like, look, you front me 100 so I can make you 200,
Yeah,
that 100's even.
Yeah, and like I hate when people try and rub it in my face where it's like, like Trump's economy. I mean, like he has done things that have been good for the economy because like these trade deals and whatnot. I mean, they've been great for our economy. I mean, like when we were in the trade war, that really fucked with us. But I mean, things ended up working out in our favor. We eventually, finalized the deal and whatnot.
Everything is new in government generates positivity towards stocks and shit like that
at
first, right?
Yeah.
Until it gets figured out what it is.
But my favorite statistic for anyone who doesn't want to give Obama any credit for the economy, it was only up until this recent dip in the stock market that ended the bull run. The bull run is when, stocks go up. The bull run officially started in March 2009. Who just took office? Mr. Obama. That's when this 11-year bull market started.
Now, and I understand what you're saying
Yeah.
there, but in all fairness, right? Trump was also claiming a lot of things his first year in office, right? All of that he claimed in the first office is actually to credit the last president.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if in 2009 he became president, then really you would be giving that credit to Bush's last term. As far as that year of when the bull rush started, and then he kept it going, good job. But then technically that would be Bush started.
Well, no, what happened under Bush was I believe Obama was in office a year prior to that.
08
because
is when he got in, right?
because
08, 09 would be the year.
I think 07, 08 was the financial crisis.
Ah, okay, maybe it was the other way.
It was kind of in between the transition between. So I wouldn't fault Bush for the crash of the economy. You know what I mean? Because that was something that banks and that they all did that themselves, and I wouldn't necessarily give the start of the bull market to Obama, but the continued growth for that 11-year run is largely based on his.
The start of the bull market was an economic buyout.
Not necessarily. The buyout only helped. It was only a band-aid on the sinking ship, really. It didn't turn around until like a year after.
But previously, as the housing market is falling, all other stocks are falling, right? The stock market is falling as the house market falls, right?
Yeah,
everything starts to fall,
the stock market completely fucking popped.
Crashed.
That bubble popped.
Crashed.
Whereas everything else
generated that money, right? And then that's when it would have been started.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened in the 08 recession was that we had a downward trend of I think 50 to 60% over the course of 400 days. It was just a constant battle down over a long period of time. So I mean, after that, there was just a point where things started shifting. People started, things started, moving upward slowly again. That's the thing. A lot of times in between that and the run, you'll have you'll be trading sideways where you're not really up, but you're kind of just and then you get a little bit and then a little bit, and then eventually it just continues to take off, and then things go back to kind of normal after a huge shock to the system like that. It will always recover. That's the thing.
It's got to, right?
Exactly.
We'll just create some fake money and start a fake.
Well, the only thing is that economic collapse, or you continue to do things where you can see things happen in the United States where if you go too crazy, negative interest rates and stuff, I mean, you could even spur economic growth for some time based off these policies. I mean, you got it can buy the whole buyout thing. That's the reason it turned around right then and there. I mean, it was a gradual decline and turnaround. You just stopped economic collapse.
You stopped the fall.
You stopped economic collapse in a couple months or so. But you were able to slow it down to a slow bleed out.
Collapse? I love to see.
I mean, you remember 2008, bro? It was, we were the brink. We were on the brink, though. I mean, where shit was just
everyday life, though.
But I mean,
you still had money. You still, shit was still cheap. I mean, come on.
But let's say, this is the thing, though. People's lives were changed forever. 401ks were lost. People, they never got those houses back.
Yeah.
They never got those houses back. A lot.
People made out rich.
Yeah.
Bankers, stock market, everything made out rich. They're gone.
And like I said,
people sailed off into the wind.
Yeah, and
they retired on that.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sad. So. And other people lost their retirement.
Exactly. So I mean, their life was altered forever moving that point on. Yeah.
We broke it down here. I got some food in me, dog. Another great cast, man. Appreciate everybody for checking it out.
Y'all just gotta stay at fucking home. That is what it is. Stay the fuck home,
bro. Download Warzone.
There you go.
Warzone, everybody, play with us.
And download the cast. Say what's up.
There you go. You said it all.
The quarantine won't stop the cast. We'll keep bringing it to you.
Bro, we got another mic right here. We're looking for a quarantine guest. We're always looking to talk to people. We've been real locked down over here, man. It's only going to get worse as we go on.
Exactly.
It's the kind of point where we got nobody but each other, Steve.
We'll be back.
Thank you, everybody.
Y'all have a good night. Keep watching. Keep tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe to the Shit Show. We appreciate it. Love y'all.